And we're back, and due to popular demand, we will be doing Emmy's route. And by popular demand, I mean the 3 people who wanted it compared to the 1 person who wanted cheese and ice. But Emmy's route is like super easy to get onto. All I had to do was go here and hit go for it, and then that was it. I was already on Emmy's route. But like, that's so easy. Last time I chose take it easy because I didn't want to do her route first, and I figured that that would get me more points with her. But it turns out, if I go for this, it's automatically on her route. You don't even get points with her, it's just straight to it. So let's go for it. What am I doing here? Really just gonna fold and let Emmy pull ahead? Oh yeah, by the way, this is the first time Hizao goes out running and Emmy meets up with them. I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, I keep going. Emmy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins. Still going? I wouldn't want you to think I'm out of shape. Well, you sure sound like it. Emmy laughs, without breaking her stride no less, and speeds up even more. Well, this is the way we're gonna play things. I increase my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning and my legs are starting to question just what the hell I think I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. I can't let myself fall behind because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquires mildly just when we start playing the game. I'd answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at the present. She's so fast. How the hell does she keep... It's like a string pulling at my chest, a choking feeling of narrowness and pain. Before I can think of anything else, then oh shit, the track disappears from under my feet. I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch at my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling on my face. Emmy whirls around and her eyes widen. Hizao. She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. It's just... Keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Don't panic. Do you need me to get the nurse? I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon it's gone like nothing happened. It was nothing. No, something happened there. I open my eyes again and glance at a very worried Emmy. Now I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird even to myself, oddly even, and matter of fact, it makes Emmy frown. I don't think you are. She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself. Right, you're coming with me. You've got to see the nurse. Emmy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse to shoulder Emmy off as for support. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed by my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Emmy concerned about me, but it seems to be too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, though at this point it seems to be too late for that as well. I'd like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own, without being a bother to anyone else. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place. Nurse. Emmy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least. Oh, good morning, Sunshine. What's up? Sunshine. Anyway, he calmly sips from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me, looming in the doorway. What brings you here? We were running and he stumbled over and started grabbing this chest, and I thought I'd come get you and make him... It just skipped that on its own. Easy there, Emmy, calm down. What happened? I don't know, we were running and then my chest started hurting like that time before, but it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns as if to say that just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron. I didn't mean quite this when I suggested to get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Hizao. I was being careful, come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well-reasoned as I thought it would. You just what? That is... I was racing Emmy. Emmy, is this true? Emmy fidgets, looking adorably contrite. Oh, well... Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it aloud and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs at his forehead with one hand tiredly. Emmy, you gotta be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hizao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you is incredibly irresponsible. Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement. You what? We were just running, and Emmy started to pull away, and so I sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, mutters a prayer for patience to some god or another, and looks back down at both of us. Oh, so you're both stupid. That's a comfort, I guess. Now come on, Hizao, I gotta make sure your heart's not going to explode or something. I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to keel over and die. So, how does it feel? I don't know, nothing much, tired, but it might just be from the exercise. You should stay here for a few hours and rest. We'll see how you feel after that. I'm not going to object, so I lie down in the infirmary bed. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. Couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries. Look, I'm really, really sorry. I should have been more careful. Hey, you didn't know, it's not your fault. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurances don't do anything much to cheer her up. I want to make it up to you. Again with that decisive nod. So you have to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good. Let's start with a you don't have to, but then shut up and just nod at her when I see her face. Good. We meet on the roof. We. Yep, the weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know. I see. You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you? Of course not. Great, see you there. I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. The nurse is shuffling around the other side of the curtains he drew to give me privacy. I can see his shadow shifting about in the sunlight. He has opened a window of his office. It's windy outside. Clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion, like waves. Light sifts through them slowly, half absorbing in the fabric. I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like the soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it, I'm not even a week, and I end up like this again. I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. Why did I try to act brave, like that heart flutter was no big deal, even when it was obvious that it was? It was just a reflex, push it away to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it. Ugh. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I have to be more careful or I'll end up in the hospital again, or worse. That's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. And surprisingly, there wasn't a little transition thing there. I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a little lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How are you feeling? Can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. I'm feeling kind of groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation, the nurse looking at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. 10:15. Try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. Well, you didn't answer my question, is that? Fine. Climb down from the bed then, let's see how you're doing. I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nurse moves to support me by my arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly is what I was going to say. Just sit there, I'll check your pulse to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up embarrassed with myself while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption in my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stop spinning? Yeah. Good, and how are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, is that? I swallow the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by someone else makes me want to protest. What he's saying is not pleasant to hear, and doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said told you so or something, but he doesn't. I've been trying to help you to keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that'll remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher to avoid an interrogation. Take the slip of paper he's offering and make my leave, as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really wouldn't want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There's some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I go out from the exit that I know works. I stopped at the stairs to the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and going straight away to the class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms. Halls are quiet as the courtyard was, naturally so since everyone is in class. I knock lightly at the door of 3-3 and push open the door when Muto calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me a kind of a stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug and he gestures at me to run along, so I naturally do. Class goes on lazily. I think I get the real middle school. Okay, so that's the end of this segment. And I saved a couple areas. Yeah, that's the one from Honda Goes Out, so it's this one. Alright, well, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Alrighty. Alright, so this is where we're going to get paint for Rin. I hope I'm about to say that actually we're not both needed for such a simple task like finding another pot of Prussian blue, but Emmy's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. I waved to Rin, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. Well, she'll notice when she goes for her Prussian blue and finds out it's still not there. Maybe. Probably not, actually. While I'm busy thinking of how weird Rin is, Emmy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. Oh, what's the rush? Huh? Emmy's giving me an appraising look as if she's trying to figure something out. No, it's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. Comprehension dawns on her face. You're not out of breath, are you? There's almost an accusing playfulness to her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but then I realize that I've been breathing heavy since we stopped. I guess it's kind of obvious. A little. Not everyone can be in shape, you know. Takes all kinds, right? Emmy frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. That is, I should get in shape. Not that I hadn't already decided to try for that. After that flutter on the track, I figure there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually, I wasn't, but it was fun. Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emmy come to some sort of a decision. Well, that's it then. She gives me a serious look. You're joining me. I beg your pardon? In the mornings. You and I are now running partners. I've got a routine all planned out, in fact. She produces a crumpled sheet of paper. I got it right here with me. I take the sheet of paper and give it a once-over. Times, dates, and laps all laid out. A slow increase from just a few laps a day to... My God, does she expect me to have me running marathons? Where did she find the time to get all this together? How long has she been planning this anyway? You've been planning this. A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. He told me to keep an eye on you to make sure you exercise like he told you to. A vast conspiracy. Maybe Kenji's onto something here. Seems a bit much for just keeping an eye on me. Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now. My God, Kenji, if you can only see the scheme unfolding. What do you need a partner for anyway? It's easier to keep up a workout if you're not the only one doing it. Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right? I see, and this won't only keep you running, but it'll make sure that I keep running as well. Meaning that I'll be obeying the nurse. And I'll be keeping an eye on you just as he asks. You caught on quick as how? And if I refuse? I have no intention of refusing, of course. But I gotta at least put up a token of resistance to such a masterfully executed plan. Well, if you'll refuse, I'll have to pout. And you'd have to live with being the guy who made Emi Ibarazaki pout. You don't want that on your conscience, do you? As if to demonstrate Emi begins pouting. It is the most adorable, heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that. I feel like I just hit a puppy. So it's settled then. You're gonna be my running partner? Follow the workout? And the dietary plan? Dietary plan? Yeah, the dietary plan. You gotta eat healthy if you're gonna get in shape, you know. I examined the workout routine closely. I don't see a dietary plan on here. Oh right, I forgot to give that to you. Another crumpled sheet of paper is produced and handed over. It's somewhat less detailed. I had their nurse help me come up with it. The amount of dedication that the nurse has to keeping me in good health is pretty overwhelming. I don't know many school nurses who would get one of their students to spy on me, much less help come up with a dietary plan. Then again, I guess I'm not in a normal school. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. Then again, this dietary plan seems to cut out just about everything that'll be offered at the festival tomorrow. So when does our running start? After the festival. Right after, or what if I've had something to eat there? I could get a stomachache, you know? I meant the day after the festival. I knew that. Wasn't there something we were supposed to be doing? Oh, well, I guess we should get that paint for Rin, huh? Oh no, it slipped my mind. By the time we get the paint and get back to the mural, Rin's already wandered off. Oh well. Emmy and I both decide to part ways there, leaving the paint on the ground. Rin will find whenever she comes back anyway. So tomorrow I'm actually a little excited for it. At the same time, okay, that seems like that's where it's gonna continue from there, and then we have this part, which is there's nothing more after that. So this is the part that like goes straight into her route. Alright, so this is where Kenji's trying to persuade us to go make us fort. I wonder, I'm kind of hungry, but I made this deal that I try to take better care of myself, be healthier, you know? Do you know if I should steer clear of the takoyaki or head straight in? Deal. Sounds kind of ominous. So what are you getting in return? Nothing, I guess. It's not that kind of deal. You know, Emmy, from our year, we kind of agreed to watch each other's backs, and... Ah! The shrill scream, the expression of abject terror in Kenji's face chill my blood. It's as if I told a Catholic priest I sold my soul to the devil. You sold your soul to the devil. Sold your soul to the devil and didn't get anything in return. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Do you know who you're dealing with? She's a public health danger. Do you know how many people she sends to the hospital monthly with her carefully placed flying tackles? She's one of them, a key player in the vast conspiracy that aims for the complete submission of everything that is manly. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I trusted in your judgment, man. I thought we were brothers. You have to call it off before it's too late. This festival, too, is just one of their ploys. He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster, like he's trying to start a fire, then slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course. I'm gonna have to find some place to hide in, a safe haven, and then knock the lights out of myself so I don't have to experience this horrible day. I have the perfect thing for that. I must prepare now. Don't go to the festival. Okay. Later, dude. The door slowly closes with a low creak, and I don't know how to feel about what Kenji just said. It's kind of unsettling, and now I start feeling doubtful myself. Should I bother going? I've got a book I've been meaning to read. Something about an underground postal system that may or may not exist. It's short, too. I could have it finished in a day. But would that be a good way to spend my time? Well, yeah, it definitely would be. But I suppose it would probably be a better idea to head outside. See the festival. Try to integrate with all the other sideshow acts. Honestly, I should at least make an attempt to keep up the somewhat friendly personality I've had the past week. Maybe get something to eat, my stomach suggests. It's almost lunchtime. I could at least grab something from the one of the stalls outside. I'm soon outside, surrounded by various students and people who may or may not be their parents. Every so often I catch a glimpse of someone who clearly just came up from town for the promise of a festival. They're easy to spot. Once you can't stop staring, and behind their eyes you can tell they're thinking, what's wrong with this one? I almost want to yell at them. But at the same time, can I deny that I've been doing the same all week? A wave of something like disgust sweeps over me, guilt for my own narrow-mindedness. I push the thoughts aside, concentrating on the pangs of hunger that burn my guts like a wildfire. The scent of something fried leads me to the promised land where I can get some lunch. I'm just getting my order when a loud voice interrupts me. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Having lunch. Breakfast? You mean you just got up? Suddenly sleeping all morning feels like a crime. No, I meant lunch, honest. She's not buying it. Brunch? That's not a healthy breakfast at all. She snatches my food out of my hand and glares at me. What the hell is this girl doing? Hey, that's my breakfast. What happened to it being your lunch? That's my... whatever, it's my food. Emmy places her hands on her hips and begins lecturing me. Did you really forget your dietary plan already? You need to be more conscious of your health, Isao. What about your heart? My heart's fine the way it is, mostly. I like it in response to a roll of the eyes. I doubt that. You wouldn't be here if that was the case, would you? And girl's got a point, of course. but I'm not about to concede it. It's not that bad of a heart. Certainly it can handle a little grease now and again. We'll just say that, like, you agreed to start the thing tomorrow, not today, so you can do whatever you want today. Yeah, sure, and handle a little running just fine, too. Emmy seems unconvinced. Not surprising, as I haven't even managed to convince myself. Maybe, but if you're not sleeping the day away all the time... A devious look suddenly crosses her face. Of course, if you've been following your routine from the beginning, you wouldn't be in this situation. Hey, I've had a pretty eventful week, you know. For example, I almost died, and there were a lot of meeting people, and then I was on the roof for a while. Which is no excuse for slacking off, you know. A little near-death experience is no excuse for skipping basic exercise. Like running in the mornings. She nods as if something important has just been decided. Boy, so it's settled then. You see the error of your ways and are willing to adhere to my routine, right? I'll see you bright and early in the morning. We'll be running buddies. You know, you'd already convinced me yesterday that this was a good idea. You don't need to convince me again. Not that I did a good job being convinced. She's right about eating healthy after all, and here I am ordering up something grossly unhealthy. But delicious. There are more important things than deliciousness, aren't there? Like staying alive. If Emmy weren't here browbeating me for my poor decisions, I'd probably... Oh, wait a second. Some question springs to mind. Hey, why the hell have you been taking such an interest in my well-being? Emmy shrugs and grins at me. You're the new guy. Figure you don't have any friends yet, right? Besides, I've caused you trouble all week, right? I owe you for not getting angry. And I told the nurse I would anyway. Crazy little running girl wants to make me healthy. Well, I suppose there are worse fates. Okay, that sounds fine. Thank you for your concern. Tomorrow morning, then. I figure that ends the conversation, so I turn to leave. Not so fast. I feel a hand on my collar, and in a second I've been yanked backwards. Hey, no need to be so rough. What do you want now? Amy looks almost wounded by my annoyed question. I thought you could use the company. Her eyes narrow. Besides, you were just going to try sneaking some more of that fried crap, weren't you? Well, I wasn't going to, but now that she mentions it, that would have been a really good idea. I was not. Another glare? Okay, maybe I was going to get a little. The glare continues? Okay. A lot. Jeez, I'm a danger to myself and others, aren't I? I get done agreeing that I need to be healthier, then immediately start considering the next unhealthy habit that comes my way. I knew it, you can't be trusted. Now I definitely have to stick with you. This whole situation feels silly. I can only imagine what passerby thinks of the sight of me being lectured by a tiny girl half my size. Maybe I should just give up for now. Fine, what do you like? Do what you like, alright. I sigh. Might as well make the best of this. What do you want to do? Emmy thinks for a moment. Well, I promised Rin I'd stop by her mural. So let's do that. I confess I'm slightly curious as to how her mural turned out myself, so again I consider there are worse fates. I give a nod of assent and find myself almost dragged bodily through the crowd as Emmy races to our destination. By the time we reach the dorms, I can feel my heart pounding. My heart shouldn't be pounding after just that. Take a few deep breaths, willing myself to calm down, another drink break. Alright. I'm one of the most normal-looking people in the school, but I still have to be here. Sometimes I almost wish I lost a hand or something. At least then it'd be obvious that I belong. But instead, I don't even look sick. Even now, trying to catch my breath, I just look out of shape. Emmy looks back and notices my state of distress. You're not going to die on me, are you? Please don't. It'll be all my fault, and I don't want to deal with that kind of guilt. Besides, after last time, I really don't think I need to see that again, especially because the nurse will totally say it's all my fault. No, I'm fine. I guess I need to start running after all. And you wanted to keep eating your greasy... whatever it was. See, it's a good thing I found you, right? Yes, it was. Maybe. Of course, they don't add that I wouldn't be in this state if she hadn't dragged me across the festival grounds. Further conversation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of Rin. Oh, it's you. Hello, Emmy. Hey, Rin, I brought Hizawa along because he was going to give himself a heart attack. I was not. My objection goes unnoticed. We stopped by to see how the mural turned out. Rin nods slowly. Well, it's right there. You can see it pretty clearly. I find myself wondering how long Rin's been standing here in front of the mural. Has anyone even stopped by to look at it? Are we the first ones? Obviously we're not the first to see it, of course. I mean, it's pretty big. You'd be hard-pressed not to see it. At the same time, I don't think anyone's actually talked to Rin about it. Anyone but us, that is. I feel compelled to say something. Looks pretty good. I'm still not happy with how it turned out, but I guess it'll do. She seems almost resigned to it. I'm not sure what she expected as a result, but I guess she didn't quite get there. I stand in front of the mural, taking it all in. I try my best to concentrate on the composition of the thing. It's actually fairly interesting. Colors swoop and blend together, dragging me along with them. There's a dreamlike quality to the whole thing that makes me almost feel sleepy. I try hunting out some of the colors Emmy and I grabbed for her. Try as I might, I can't see any Prussian blue. Oh well, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. I don't even know what Prussian blue is. My feet start to hurt, but Rin doesn't seem inclined to move on. Emmy speaks up. Hey Rin, have you eaten? Of course, you can't survive otherwise. What about in the past 5 hours? Maybe, but I'm hungry again, so maybe that means I'm wrong. Emmy grins and claps her hands together. Good, come get some food with us. Rin nods in assent. Okay, but we should hurry before they notice I'm gone. Somehow I don't think they'd care, whoever they are. As we head back to the food stalls, I cast a long eye over the fried food. Nope, I'd better not. Pretty sure Emmy wouldn't let me anyway. We found a nice spot in the grass to sit down and eat our purchases. Well, my purchase in it anyway. Somehow I've wound up paying for all the food. Surprisingly, my unfried food is pretty good. Silence falls as Emmy and I eat, and Rin stares at something or other, occasionally taking a bite or two of her food. I finish my meal first and lay back on the grass. Emmy glances up from her food. Tired as hell? A little, I guess. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. We saw our morning runs, remember? Actually, they'd slipped my mind. I was actually just enjoying myself. Wandering around the festival with these two has actually been pretty fun. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. You'd better be there. I'll get angry if you aren't. God forbid. I don't think God comes into it. Unless it's some kind of freak accident and your alarm clock shorts out. That might be a random act of God. Well, don't cause any random acts of God then. A plan forms itself in my mind. It's a plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw it into execution anyway. Damn it, I've earned a little fried food. Anyway, I'm going to start running tomorrow, right? So the actual routine on starts then, not now, exactly. Ergo, the dietary portion starts tomorrow too. Ergo, I can have something unhealthy today. Sort of final farewell to all the stuff I used to eat with Wild abandoned before the hospital. I suppose I should head back to my room. I had some homework to do, and if I'm going to run in the morning, I should make it in an early night. Those narrowed eyes again. You sure you're not just sneaking off to buy some of that fried stuff over there? No, I'm too full to bother now. Pat my stomach for emphasis. Besides, you two have cleaned me out anyway. Emmy giggles at the surprisingly pleasant sound. Another pang of guilt. She's got to know that I'm lying to her, doesn't she? Or is she just that trusting? I feel kind of like a monster. All part of my master plan is how. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Thanks for the food and keeping us company. And here I thought she was doing me a favor. Rin nods in agreement. I won't say see you tomorrow because that would be like predicting the future, and I'm pretty sure I can't do that. Okay. Bye, you two. I feel oddly glad that I decided to leave my room today. Not a bad way to start my second week here, I suppose. Once I'm sure I'm out of Emmy's line of sight, I make a beeline for the food stands and buy some cake. At least it's not fried, right? That's slightly better than what I was planning to do. I still feel a little bad about lying to Emmy, though. She really does seem concerned about my health. I'll make it up to her somehow. Better head back to my room. Hey, I do have work to do. My book waits for me, and I flop onto my bed and read through the fireworks display. There's been like no CGs so far. I guess I'll just have to use a random image of Emmy for the thumbnail. Eventually all the walking around, or more accurately running around, catches up with me. I really am out of shape. Emmy dragging me out in the morning to run might be a good thing after all. Something to look forward to. Yep, no CGs. Well, here's the cutscene, I'm pretty sure. Yep. form already. Enemies are out then. Anyway, it's only been 30 minutes, but you know what? I'm going to end it here anyway. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.